And we're underway. Brian the Lion Rose, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to Into Boxing, sir. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
You've got a fight on the brink of being announced. I think we can talk about it by the time this goes live. It'll be out. Dennis Radovan, German opposition. Just tell us a little bit about what you know about him and how you plan on preparing.
I'm off the back of a camp, so I've just fought Sergio Martinez. I was on the back of. Oh God, sorry. Just trying to get you right.
We
There
can
we
cut
go.
that bit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I'm coming back on the back of a camp. I've just fought Sergio Martinez, so my spirits are still high. I got beat my last fight, but it was a wrong decision. Everyone said that I won the fight, but going over to Spain was always a tough ask. Um, Going to Germany is a tough ask, but you know, I love a challenge. I've said this in interviews before. I love a challenge. I'm not one of them that's going to come back and have a six rounder. I'm not at that age. I just want to be involved in good fights. I'm not doing this for the money. I do it for the love of the sport. I just love fighting.
Yeah, do you know that was one thing I was going to say. Obviously, I'll speak to you about the Martinez fight in a moment and the idea of moving around. But as a fan, what I like about Brian Rose, what I love about Brian Rose is, like you say, you're always there for the fight, for the challenge, and that's what fans want to see in boxers. You've really kind of got that bit between your teeth, if you like. Go back a few years. The challenge in you, the challenger, has always been inside you. You make these fights happen.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, at the moment, I think because I've been going the distance with these good fighters and also making an impact in the fight. The Fowler fight, I came on strong the last round. The Martinez fight, everyone said I won. I think people look at my name and what I've achieved. You know, I'm a nice name to have on someone's record, so that's why I'm getting those fights still. Um, but I am going to pull one off. I know I am. I know I'm capable of winning one of these fights, and this could be the one. I've watched him a couple of times, and I do believe um, I've got what it takes to beat him.
What is it that you see in his game? Because I mean, he's highly thought of over in the Wasserman camps. The Sauerland brothers, of course, they know German boxing just about as well as anybody, and they speak very highly of Dennis Radovan. What is it that you see that you think you can overcome?
I mean, I've fought tall people before, and he's quite tall, and as mad as it sounds, I like punching up. But I just believe I've got the experience and the know-how to beat someone like him. Um, I just don't think he'd be ready for that step up yet. He hasn't been in with anyone as good as me yet. People can say I'm getting a little bit older, and that's why these promoters are starting to try and use me against these fighters. I'm not stupid. I know they don't want me for any other reason. That's for my name on their record, but um, I just believe I've got the know-how and experience to beat someone like him. And like I say,
What
I'm ready to pull one of these off. I keep taking these challenges on, and I keep getting took as an away fighter and as an opponent. But I can promise you, I'm going to pull it off.
what happens if you do? I mean, let me rephrase. What happens when you do? Because I believe the fighter in you. I'm confident in what you're saying about yourself, and that makes me believe in you as a fighter. But what do you think happens to your career? Because, like you say, at the moment, a lot of opponents, a lot of promoters, you feel see you as an opponent or as the away fighter, so to speak. You don't really want that reputation, and when you get the win, do you think that'll turn back in your favour and you can carry on building your career? Because you've been in big fights for big titles.
Yeah, of course. I mean, but I am a realist, and I'm 36, and I know my career is coming to an end either way. I could win this fight and still call it a day. I could lose this fight, and I probably will call it a day. Um, I am a realist and I'm honest. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, I'm going to rebuild after that and defend it 5 times in Blackpool, and it's just. I'm a realist, I know it's coming to an end. So even if I win this fight, I might call it a day on a win. I've had a great career. Um, I'm happy with what I've achieved. People could say I've almost overachieved. So for me, I just take every fight as it comes and
Yeah.
step by step. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I will win this fight, and when I win this fight, might retire on a win, and or I might have a homecoming in Blackpool and call it a day. I don't know.
What are the standout fights for you in your career, if this is to be? And I hope it's not. I hope it's not as a fan watching. But I look back at some of your fights. The big names obviously jump out. You mentioned the Ant Fowler fight a little earlier on. Demetrius Andrade, of course, will be on there as well. But what fights is it for you that sits there and stands out?
I think the Prince Aaron fight is definitely a standout fight. He was tipped for greatness after in beating Sam Webb. Everyone was talking about European titles and world titles for him at the time. I remember being 8-1 to win that fight, and I just knew I was going to win, and I won it convincingly. So that's a standout fight. The Maciel fight, the final eliminator for the world title. That's a standout fight because that was an absolute war, and I love getting involved in them wars. I'm quite technical as a boxer, but as I've got older, I love the taste of blood. As soon as I taste that blood, I love to get in a row. And the second Carson Jones fight, that was a great fight. Yeah. So mainly the ones I've had to dig deep and have a proper fight. I like that. I like those kind of fights. So I'm hoping that Dennis gets involved. I know he's a very good boxer. He's a great amateur. Again, I've got respect for anyone that I share the ring with, but I hope he tries to stand with me because I do like a bit of a war.
When you mention the fights that you've been in with, and it's not always about getting the win, I suppose. I know you had great pride in the fact that you were going to share a ring with Martinez last time around. How did that fight come about, and how did it feel once you got in there? Because he's like, he's a huge name.
Like I say, I was a massive fan of Martinez at one point. Lost a little bit of respect for the whole team and the promotions because of the decision. Really, I don't know if it was down to them. I can't say it's corrupt because I don't know. But for me, I won 7 or 8 of them 10 rounds, and anyone that's watched the fight that isn't biased will tell you the same. And I rocked him in the second round. That's my only regret, that I rocked him, but he actually caught me with a body shot at the same time. So everyone was like, "Why didn't you finish it?" It's because I was hurt from the body shot. But yeah, sharing the ring with Martinez, I've still got complete respect for him because he was one of the best we've seen. So yeah, it was a strange feeling. We fought in a bull ring, and I remember looking up at the ceiling. And there was machines where they hang the bulls, and I was thinking, fucking hell, that could be me afterwards. That could be me hung from that machine. They were the change rooms where they pull the bull in, and the blood gets drained into the drains that were there. It was a surreal moment for me, and life's about experiences, and that's all I'm doing at the moment. I've earned money from boxing. I'm comfortable, but I just love. I mean, I got asked to go sparring in Spain not so long ago, and I'm still considering it for the last 2 weeks of camp. And I'm only going to go because I want the experience of going to Spain for 2 weeks and sparring. I just love it. Life's about experiences. I've achieved, but now it's about going and exploring the world.
Mate, that's infectious kind of enthusiasm. We had a few weeks ago we had Ashley Theophane on here, and he was saying, for the last however many years before his Sam Eggington fight in the UK, he was traveling all over the world, and he was just wanting to get those experiences up. You're in a position where you can do that, and again, this is another one heading over to Germany. It's another one that you can, when it really is all said and done, you can sit down and tell the grandkids about it. I've been to this country, I've been to this country, and if you get the win in Germany, you can develop a little bit of a cult following over there as well, because, like I say, Dennis is highly thought of.
Of course, yeah. I know the German fans, they love the boxing. I've been told I look a bit German because of my nose. So, yeah, you know what? I'm not even thinking about the next. I know I'm capable of winning this fight. I honestly believe I was going to go over to Spain and hammer Sergio Martinez. I really did. A lot better than I thought. He's got a lot left in the tank than I actually thought. I can't even imagine him fighting him 10 years ago. I bet he was unbelievable. You know, I wouldn't have liked to share the ring with him then. But yeah, you know, it's just about experiences, and like you say, I could gain a few fans after it, but I'm not even thinking about the next fight. I've got to take it at my age. I've got to take it step by step, fight by fight. I've got to be real.
Of course. Let me just ask you, while I've got you, the state of the division then and the surrounding divisions. Obviously, middleweight is there's just so much talk in there at the moment, with Chris Eubank making himself, available to the top names again. Golovkin still kicking around; he's still, at the top of the division. You've got Charlo's wanting to come up. What's your take on it all at the moment?
Well, like you say, it's a tasty division, and again, I'm a realist. I'm not going to sit here and say I'd love to share the ring with him. Don't get me wrong, because I love fighting, but at the same time, that's not my ambition at the moment.
Yeah.
My ambition is about winning the IBF European title, and then seeing what's after that. Probably doing a massive show in Blackpool and defending it in Blackpool, and then I'm happy. I'm happy with what I've achieved. But then again, if something else comes up, if someone asks me to go to Germany again or Spain, I'll probably be there 8 weeks later.
Yeah, you've clearly still got the bit between your teeth. Well, listen, mate, I'm going to let you crack on. I appreciate the chat today, but we will be over there to see you in Germany. I'm looking forward to just an awesome show, and I hope you get those 2 weeks in the sunshine of Spain as well. You're at the top of it. Brian, mate, it's always a pleasure, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.